Over 10 years ago was when Henry helped me put the air conditioners in the two upstairs bedrooms in my house, which I had recently purchased at that time. Or, more specifically, should I say, I helped him, because I had no idea how to do it. He was the one doing the work, as Henry always does, explaining everything each step of the way. Those window air conditioners have worked flawlessly ever since. The pre-existing downstairs one, well, that's a different story. It was already in place and working when I bought the house 15 years ago. It has since gone on the blink and is in need of replacing. The space it is required to cool is larger than that of those in the smaller upstairs bedrooms. This one is located in the dining room window. With the current heat wave we are experiencing, it was enough motivation to get the dining room window air conditioner taken out and replaced with a new one. I should start off by saying I had every intention of performing this task by myself. After all, I have been living in this house since last year. You'd think by now I would be able to perform some tasks by myself without dialing that fixer-upper 911, which is Brother Hen's cell phone. You'd think so, wouldn't you? Well, by the time you reach the end of this clip, you'll know that for this specific task, I did not even come close to being able to do it alone. I'll begin at the beginning. The beginning was when the heat wave hit, and I knew something had to be done about this old inoperable dining room window AC. I had two major obstacles in front of me right off the bat. Number one, I had no way of accessing it directly from the inside of the window. And number two, I had no way of accessing it directly from the outside of the window. The previous owner had an iron gate as a security measure covering the inside of it, which contained a padlock. I did not have the key to the lock. On the outside, the rear alleyway leading up to it was covered with miscellaneous junk and debris, which I never got to clean up yet. So those were my immediate challenges, getting to the AC from the inside and getting to it from the outside. I did give Henry a call early in this thought process, just to ask him if he had any padlock cutters. He asked me why. I told him. I said I've got a window I had to get access to which contained a lock. He said no, he does not have a padlock cutter. But he did have a grinder, which he said could work just as good to get a lock off. He said I could borrow it any time. I went up and I got it. I specifically left out the part to him about my having to access the window to get the AC out of it and replace it. I left that part out because I know he would have volunteered to help me to do the whole thing once I got the new one. And as weak-minded as I am, I would have said, okay, come on over, and let's do this together. But I was trying to stand on my own 2 feet for once, a position which you will come to see did not last very long for this assignment. I got the grinder from Henry, and I also got a plan to clean up some of that junk out of the alleyway to get to it from the outside. Whoa! Whoa. By the time I got the alleyway cleared and the padlock cut, you'd think I would feel good about the progress I made. Quite the opposite. What I was feeling was nervous. Very nervous. Like I said, the AC had been inside this window long before I even got in the house. I can see that it is already big. And if you know anything about old, large air conditioners, they weigh a ton. This looked more and more like a two-man job, which I could have used someone like Malik for. When I got the duct tape from around the front of the AC, I saw clearly how it was fixed in place. There was a block of wood above it, screwed in place, and another wood block below it, also screwed in place. By now, it was obvious it was a two-man job, with one person on the inside unscrewing these screws and the other outside holding that big behind AC so it would not come out all of a sudden and maybe damage the window in the process. After all, there is a lot of glass around when it comes to windows. But foolishly, I continued on by myself. This became the stopping point for me. The drill I had was incapable of taking out any of the screws. It danced over each and every one of them. I found myself at a point where there was nothing else to do but throw my hands up and admit defeat and call in the cavalry, which is in the form of Henry Brooks Sr. So Hen, when you watch this, I am finished with your grinder. And whenever you are ready, please help me get this monster out of the window. And no, I have not gotten its replacement yet, which is something else I will invite suggestions for.